Maximum of 10, but 10 set points are included to avoid the obvious tie, and Kenny Smith will be next.
Well, Kenny Smith, probably one of the people the fans would like. Of course, the Heat like Thompson, but Kenny, one of the shortest competitors here, along with Chapman at 6'3", but an outstanding leaper.
He's a 1-foot takeoff guy, Rick, so you're going to see him. He's going to do it like a high jumper, probably going to try to cradle one and maybe throw it in over his right shoulder.
Yeah, usually the shorter guys are the one-legged guys.
Yep.
Oh, that was strong, grabbing the rim with one hand, reversing with the other. But is it strong enough to move ahead of Wilkins or Thompson as the judges write their scores down?
You know what this reminds me of, Rick? This reminds me when I played for the Sixers, and I used to go, and everybody yelled, dunk one, dunk one. You got Julius Erving, George McGinnis, all these guys like tearing it down. You do your best. They go, ugh.
Yeah, I know. I never wanted to get in that.
You know, look at Kenny Smith. I mean, look what this young guy is doing, and it's like, go sit down.
So
it's like a lost cause sometimes, boy. A tough spot.
The low score so far came from Kenny Battle from Illinois. And this one's just barely above the Battle score of 42.5. Kenny Smith got a 43.
These guys are over here having themselves a good time. They've changed their choices. I'm with Magic, Isaiah, Joe Dumars, and Clyde Drexler all down here. Magic, who is your favorite now? You changed on me.
I changed with every dunk. But like I said, Dominique had to be the favorite, and Kenny Walker. And I said also that the dark horse had to be the young fella from Seattle. He's
see how many choices he's given himself?
No, I still say Dominique is the favorite, but I love them all. I'm about to watch Kenny Smith because he's going to do something unbelievable right here.
All right, you're Magic. You didn't let anybody else talk. Let's go back to you guys.
Well, thank you, Steve Jones Magic Johnson. Personally, disappointed in the score. I think Thompson only got a 43.7 on that dunk we saw for a total of 91.4, which places him in 4th place right now. This is Kenny Smith.
Is this one, the two-hand between the legs? I mean, two-hand bounce between the legs and then get it off the backboard and dunk it? I've seen him do this. Look at this. This is spectacular. You bounce it between your legs, Rick, off the backboard, you turn and you dunk the ball. This is unbelievable.
Good horse shot. I do this in my backyard, so never lost a game.
Now that's, I mean, can you get as many of these as you want?
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough.
Good question. This one looks like a good one. Yes!
Now, see, that's good. That's big time right there.
That's creative. See, a lot of creativity, as David Robinson liked it, but he got a lot of opportunities to do it. He didn't have the power. Of course, he's only 6'3". Remember that, folks. But that still is very creative. A lot of high marks for creativity. Here we'll see it again.
Look at
Finally
this.
Got it on the glass. Up, boom.
And then it's a 180.
Still pretty darn good. I like it. Another angle.
Good replay.
Let me tell you something, guys. I was going to tell you about a dunk. Julius Erving, one day in practice in Philadelphia, we were having a dunking contest. Doc won the contest. He stood, if you see, he stood underneath the basket, out of bounds, underneath the basket, and jumped inbounds and dunked the basketball. And no one on the team could even come close. I asked Michael Jordan to try to do it one day, and he couldn't do it. I've never seen any competition, Rick. Kenny Walker and Dominique, they get warmed up as they go along because they've been here before. They know that they're going to hold off because as it gets down to the end, this crowd will start getting excited on who makes the best dunk.
Kenny Smith has the highest score so far today, a 49.6 in the first round. Oh, that one's strong.
I tell you, this young guy right here is doing it. That was sweet.
I tell you, that ball was behind him. He had to go back and get it and then bring it to the hole. And remember, the other guys are big men. This man is only 6'3" tall. Now watch how he's going to go. See, the ball's behind him. He's got to go back, get it. Now come turn around and throw it in. I think it may have forced him to make a more creative dunk. Here he goes. Behind.
I like his finish here. Watch him as he comes down. He pirouettes, and after he comes down, he bounces up, throws his arms in the air like he's a gymnast. What's my score?
All right, let's get a view now from Michael Jordan. It's a 49-1 for Kenny Smith. Michael Jordan's with Craig Sager.
Well, thank you, Bob. Michael Jordan, the only man to successfully defend his Gatorade Slam Dunk title. What do you like so far?
Well, you know, I think Kenny is defending his title very well, I think, but he's got some great challenges. I think Kenny Smith is the underdog of the situation because you know, he's not quite known as a dunker, but he's very quick. But he's shown some creativity.
He needs a 48.3 on this one to tie for second.
At which there would be a dunk-off then for the advancement. So a 48.4 would move him into the final round.
I'd say Kenny Smith has done a lot better than I thought he would. I did not think he would be here at this phase of the competition.
A mere 6'3". That was pretty strong on the bounce and a two-handed reverse jam. But will the style that'll get him enough from the judges.
I got a feeling he might not make it. It's a heck of a dunk. There's the nice bounce. He clutches it and brings it down. 2 hands over the head. Very creative.
He's going to miss it by about 0.2, Rick. This is going to be about a 48.1.
They've been given a lot of high scores here in this round, so who knows? 49.
Whoa! 49.
That means he got into the finals.
98.3, and that means the championship round will be Dominique Wilkins and Kenny Smith.
Back to you, Bob.
Some class shown there by Kenny Walker. Obviously disappointed. He's the defending champion. Didn't make it to the finals, but he gave great credit to Kenny Smith from Sacramento at 6'3". There are 3 dunks in the final round with 1 replacement dunk, and Kenny Smith will go first as Dominique won the flip and elected to go second. Kenny Smith into the row of photographers.
There's not a lot of power. Stepped way inside. Again, at 6'3", you can't expect too much from him. But I tell you, his creativity is what's got him into the finals. Just a nice little run off the 1 foot, about 1.5 to 2 feet inside. Very nice, but nothing spectacular about it. Kicked the legs up, which was good, but then hard to get the power when you're that size and jumping from that far out.
So Kenny Smith awaiting his score. Dominique Wilkins. He got a 48-1 on that one. Not a bad score.
Right here, you know, Kenny Smith seems to be pulling a Spud Webb, catching everybody by surprise, because he certainly wasn't one of the favorites.
All right, well, you've talked about him. Keep talking about Kenny Smith right now.
Well, what he's doing right now is just showing creativity, and he's done a lot of timing dunks, and he's been nailing them. And I think he's probably even surprising Dominique. Look at Dominique. He's like, well, what is that? I remember when Spud did that to him. He's like, what are you doing? You're not supposed to do that. I'm the Neek, right?
Well, you know, everyone has had their favorites in this contest, and it looks like Kenny Smith has pushed ahead. We'll see what the judges do for him, Doc. All right, let's go back to Bob and Rick and Doug Collins.
Okay, thank you, Steve Jones. First of all, Dominique got a 47.9 on his dunk prior to this one, and now on 49.8 for Kenny Smith.
And I think that's great. Again, he did the creativity. That's a very difficult dunk to do. Dominique is showing a sameness to his dunks. He's doing the same type of things, the pump, the clutch, the hard thing, not the creativity.
A 49.7 awarded on that dunk. That's a shock. Smith has 97.9 right now, and it's 97.6 for Dominique, and it's going to go down to the third one. That surprised me very much right now. Let's go to Craig Sager.
Well, thank you, Bob. With me is Cliff Levingston, Dominique's dunking coach, and John Sally, who's talking in the back. What did you tell Dominique?
Well, we told him to pump his sneakers a couple times and so he can get a little more lift. Yeah, that's what happened.
Well, we're down to the wire. Let's go back to Bob Neal.
Thank you. Kenny Smith now for his third dunk. A lob again. He grabbed the rim and followed through. I'll bet he wishes he hadn't done that because he could have pulled it back down. Now he does have a replacement dunk remaining, so he may choose to do that as a replacement dunk. It looks like his right hand is sore.
Now, does he know that he can get a replacement dunk even though he made that? See, I don't know whether he knows that he can replace that even with the make. I think he's questioning right now, can I do it over even though I made it?
I'll tell you what, that's still a pretty creative dunk right there. The guy had no chance to make it and caught the rim and wound up whipping back. He caught his wrist because he came around from behind his swing.
Getting a ruling from the NBA on this is Kenny Smith. Looks like his wrist is hurting right now. Still no word on it. They say he cannot replace it. The dunk has to miss for you to be able to replace it, so that will count. And he got a 47.2 on it for a total of 145.1. Dominique Wilkins' lowest score today has been 47.9. You see the NBA officials on the sideline explaining to Kenny Smith that since the dunk went through the net, he does not get a replacement. Let's see what he did to his wrist here. Dominique now has a 97.6.
You know, I wonder how much they counted against him by grabbing the left hand and pulling himself up, Rick. I don't know if they counted that against him.
Dominique needs a 47.6 to win. Oh, that's got to get it.
Yeah, but again, you see, it's the same type of dunks that Nick has been coming up with. And Kenny is extremely creative to get out of that dunk. So,
how about this? Dominique Wilkins' shoe company paid him $100,000 to come to this competition because they're about to come out with a new line of shoes, and I believe he's about to win and get another 20.
Well, here's the two-hand plan again. The two-hand, windmill, we've seen it a lot. Great power, great elevation, of course. And it's just unfortunate that Kenny Smith elected to go ahead and finish that dunk off. Had he had a chance to do it over again, we could have seen someone who would have been a new champion.
A 49-2, and Dominique Wilkins is a repeat champion with a total cumulative score in the championship round of a 146.8. Dominique Wilkins, the champion from 1985, is now the champion from 1990.